Hey bookworms, welcome back for another deep dive here on Book Dive.
Yeah.
We're diving into a book that might just revolutionize your mornings. And who knows, maybe your whole life.
Yeah.
Perfect for that morning commute, get those insights flowing early.
Absolutely.
Today we're cracking open The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod.
Right.
Have you heard of this one?
Very popular. Yeah. A lot of people have gotten a lot out of it.
It's kind of become a phenomenon, I think, in the personal growth world.
Definitely.
So we're going to unpack why. We've got excerpts from the book itself,
Okay.
stories from people who've actually tried the Miracle Morning, and even a glimpse into the author's own journey,
Sounds interesting.
which is, well, let's just say it's pretty intense.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
So the book starts with Hal Elrod's personal story,
Hmm.
and it's not your typical self-help origin story.
Right.
He was going through a rough patch, financial stress, feeling down.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Haven't we all been there at some point?
Absolutely. Yeah. He doesn't shy away from that.
So he decides to try something radical.
Okay.
He starts waking up super early and incorporating 6 personal development practices into his mornings.
Oh, wow.
He calls them S.A.V.E.R.S, silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing.
Uh-huh.
I love a good acronym.
Easy to remember.
Exactly, very catchy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure we'll get into, all the S.A.V.E.R.S themselves, but before we unpack them,
Okay.
I'm curious, why do you think Elrod places so much emphasis on mornings?
Well, he has this really thought-provoking argument. He says that the level of success we achieve rarely exceeds our level of personal development.
Interesting.
So by dedicating time each morning to becoming a better version of ourselves,
Okay.
we're essentially laying the groundwork for greater success in all areas of life.
Yeah, it's like that quote, your level of success will seldom exceed your level of personal development.
Powerful.
I actually highlighted that one.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it's so powerful.
It really makes you think.
It does.
Doesn't it, what if instead of chasing success directly, we focused on becoming the kind of people who are more likely to succeed?
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's like shifting your focus from what you want to achieve to who you want to become.
Exactly. And Elrod believes that mornings are the ideal time to do that, to invest in yourself before the demands of the day take over.
Makes a lot of sense. It's about starting your day proactively and intentionally,
Yes.
rather than just letting it happen to you.
It's about seizing the day.
He sees the day.
And speaking of seizing the day, the book is filled with inspiring stories from people who have actually seen real-life transformations from adopting the Miracle Morning routine.
Yeah, I was so impressed by the variety of people featured in the book.
Me too.
People from all walks of life facing different challenges
Yeah.
and seeing different results.
Yeah, like Jane Bavarova, for example. She used to hate mornings.
Really?
But the Miracle Morning actually turned her into a morning person.
Oh, wow.
She says she feels happier and more efficient now.
That's amazing. And then there's Bas Bosca, who used the routine to completely overhaul his life.
Oh, yeah.
He lost weight, paid off debt, and even started focusing on acts of kindness.
That's great.
It's incredible how adaptable the Miracle Morning seems to be to different goals and lifestyles.
Yeah, very versatile.
Speaking of transformations, let's talk about Hal Elrod himself.
Okay.
This guy's been through a lot.
He has.
Like a near-fatal car accident at age 20.
I know. Where he was actually declared dead at the scene. They had to revive him.
Crazy. I know, it's
It's
crazy.
wild.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, he gets diagnosed with cancer at 37.
It's almost unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. But what's really inspiring is that he credits the Miracle Morning for helping him through both of these incredibly tough times.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It definitely adds a layer of authenticity to the book that you don't always get with self-help.
Absolutely.
And I think it makes his message even more relatable and powerful.
For sure.
Hey, quick reminder to our listeners.
Yeah.
You are digging this deep dive?
Uh-huh.
Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Please.
We really appreciate your support.
Yes, thank you.
Now back to those S.A.V.E.R.S.
Okay.
The 6 practices that make up the core of the Miracle Morning routine.
Right.
Let's break them down one by one and see what Elrod has to say about each one,
Let's do it.
starting with silence.
Okay, this one's all about calming the mind, reducing stress, and gaining clarity.
Which is so important in today's world.
Isn't it?
We're constantly bombarded with information and stimulation.
We are.
I feel like we rarely give ourselves the gift of purposeful silence anymore.
It's true. Even our downtime is often filled with distractions. We check our phones, we scroll through social media.
Right.
We're always plugged in. We've almost forgotten how to just be with our own thoughts.
Exactly. And Elrod's not just talking about meditation here.
Okay.
He says silence can be achieved in different ways. It could be prayer, mindful breathing,
Mm,
or even just sitting in nature and observing. The key is to create space for your mind to settle and for your inner voice to emerge.
I like that.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so next on the list is affirmations.
Now, this is one that I think a lot of people have misconceptions about. If it's not done right, it can feel a bit cheesy or even ineffective.
Right.
Yeah,
And I think Elrod acknowledges that.
he does.
His approach to affirmations is very specific.
Okay.
He's not just talking about repeating positive statements.
Right.
He's talking about reprogramming your subconscious mind and building genuine self-belief.
Yeah, it's like creating a new mental playlist. Instead of those old negative thoughts playing on repeat,
Yeah.
you're consciously choosing to replace them with empowering beliefs that support your goals.
I love that analogy. And Elrod actually provides a formula for crafting effective affirmations
Does he?
that connect your desired outcome with the reasons why it's important to you and the specific actions you'll take to achieve it.
Oh, cool.
It's about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions towards a common goal.
That's a good approach.
And he stresses the importance of writing your affirmations down
Yeah.
and reciting them daily to really embed them in your mind. So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts.
Uh-huh.
It's about actively shaping your belief system. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, what's next on the S.A.V.E.R.S. list?
Visualization. This one is all about mentally rehearsing success and increasing motivation.
Ooh, I'm intrigued by this one.
Yeah.
Do you think it actually works?
Well, Elrod argues that we often visualize negative outcomes without even realizing it.
Interesting.
We imagine things going wrong,
Uh-huh.
and then we're surprised when they actually do.
Oh, yeah.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, I totally do that.
You do!
Like, I'll picture myself messing up a presentation,
Yeah.
and then I'll get all nervous and actually end up messing it up.
Exactly. So the idea behind visualization is to consciously flip the script and visualize what you want to happen instead.
Okay.
You're essentially training your mind to expect success.
So it's like mental rehearsal for real life.
Exactly. And Elrod doesn't just say visualize yourself winning.
Okay.
He emphasizes the importance of visualizing the actions you need to take to get there.
Oh.
Like
okay.
if you're training for a marathon,
Yeah.
you don't just visualize yourself crossing the finish line.
Right.
You visualize yourself waking up early, putting on your running shoes, pushing through the tough miles. It's about mentally preparing yourself for the entire journey.
That makes so much sense. Okay, so we've covered silence, affirmations, and visualization.
Yep.
What's next on the S.A.V.E.R.S. agenda?
Exercise. This one is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
But Elrod's argument for morning exercise is that it boosts your energy and cognitive function for the entire day.
Okay. I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
A good workout definitely gets me going in the morning.
Me too.
I actually read that exercising on an empty stomach helps you burn more fat. Does Elrod mention that?
He does. He's a big advocate of fasted exercise. But of course, it all depends on your individual preferences and health conditions.
Right. Always consult with a doctor
Always.
before making major changes to your routine.
Of course.
What types of exercise does Elrod recommend? Does it have to be super intense?
Not necessarily. He says the type and intensity of exercise is up to you. The key is to just get your body moving and your blood flowing.
So even if you're not a gym rat, you can still benefit from some morning movement.
Absolutely.
Maybe a quick yoga session or a brisk walk around the block.
Exactly. And what's really important is that you make exercise a non-negotiable part of your morning routine.
Okay.
It's about building that habit and consistency.
Which I'll admit can be tough.
I know, right?
I'm more of a hit the snooze button kind of person.
We've all been there.
But that's why Elrod's emphasis on creating a consistent morning routine is so valuable.
Yeah.
It's about setting yourself up for success by making those healthy choices automatic.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm ready to tackle the next S.A.V.E.R.
Okay.
What's up next?
Next up is reading. This one is near and dear to my heart, as I'm sure it is for many of our listeners.
Mine too. I love how Elrod calls reading the fastest way to transform any area of your life.
Yeah.
It's so true. Just a few pages can open up whole new worlds of knowledge and inspiration.
He believes that reading just 10 pages a day can have a huge impact on your personal growth.
10 pages, that feels doable, even for the busiest of mornings.
Oh my God.
I like that he's not advocating for some crazy, overwhelming reading goal.
Exactly. It's about consistency, not quantity. And he emphasizes reading with intention.
What does he mean by that?
He suggests asking yourself, what do I want to learn? Or what area of my life do I want to improve? Then choose books that align with those goals and aspirations.
So it's not just about reading anything. It's about being strategic and intentional with your reading choices.
Right. He also suggests rereading books that have had a profound impact on you. You know, those books that really shifted your perspective or gave you that aha moment.
I do that all the time. I have a few go-to books that I come back to again and again.
It's a great way to refresh those lessons and insights and to see them with fresh eyes each time.
Okay, so we've covered silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, and reading. Last but not least, we have scribing,
Or, as most of us know it, journaling.
which I'll admit I'm a bit hit or miss with.
Yeah.
I'll have bursts of journaling every day for a week, and then I'll completely forget about it for months.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. But Elrod sees journaling as a really valuable tool for self-reflection and growth. He says it helps you clarify your thoughts, set intentions, and track your progress over time.
So it's like a written record of your personal growth journey.
Exactly. And he also talks about the benefits of reviewing your journal entries periodically. It's amazing what insights you can gain from looking back on your past thoughts and experiences.
Like noticing patterns, celebrating wins, and learning from mistakes.
Absolutely. Elrod even has a specific method for reviewing his journals where he extracts lessons learned and makes new commitments based on those insights.
That's brilliant. I'm definitely going to try that. Okay, so we've covered all 6 S.A.V.E.R.S. practices. That's a lot to take in. Before we move on, I'd love to hear from our listeners. Are there any S.A.V.E.R.S. practices that you're already doing or that you'd be interested in incorporating into your own routine?
Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences.
Okay, so beyond the S.A.V.E.R.S. themselves, the Miracle Morning also delves into some other important themes, like sleep optimization and overcoming those pesky self-imposed limitations that hold us back.
This is where things get really interesting. You know how we're always told we need 8 hours of sleep? Well, Elrod challenges that assumption.
Wait, really? I thought 8 hours was like the golden rule of sleep.
It's what we've been conditioned to believe. But Elrod suggests experimenting with different sleep durations to find what works best for you. He says the ideal amount of sleep varies from person to person, and that we shouldn't just blindly follow generic recommendations.
So how do you figure out how much sleep you actually need?
Elrod provides some helpful tips, but he also emphasizes the power of mindset. He says that how we feel in the morning is often influenced by our beliefs about sleep.
So if you tell yourself you'll be tired if you only get 6 hours of sleep, you'll probably feel tired, even if your body could have functioned perfectly fine on 6 hours.
Exactly. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I've definitely experienced that. Like if I wake up a little earlier than usual, I automatically assume I'm going to be exhausted all day. And then guess what? I drag myself around feeling exhausted.
It's all about shifting those beliefs. And to help with that, Elrod provides a snooze-proof wake-up strategy. It's basically a set of tactical steps to make those early mornings easier.
Like practical tips you can actually implement.
Exactly. Things like moving your alarm clock across the room so you have to physically get out of bed to turn it off.
Yeah.
Or having a glass of water waiting for you by the bedside table.
Small tweaks that can make a big difference in how you start your day.
Absolutely. And speaking of starting your day with intention, let's talk about those self-imposed limitations that Elrod addresses.
Oh yes, those pesky beliefs that hold us back from reaching our full potential. We all have them.
And Elrod's own story is a testament to overcoming them. Remember how he said he wasn't a runner?
Yeah, but he ended up completing a 52-mile ultramarathon.
Talk about shattering a limiting belief. He actually walks readers through a process of identifying and challenging these beliefs that hold us back.
And then replacing them with more empowering ones, right?
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we're often capable of much more than we think we are.
It's like that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Our beliefs have so much power over our actions, and ultimately, our results.
Absolutely. And one of the most practical aspects of the book is the 30-day challenge that Elrod lays out.
Tell me more about that.
It's a step-by-step plan designed to help readers establish the miracle morning habit.
So it's not just a bunch of theory. He actually gives you a roadmap for putting it all into practice.
Exactly. And he breaks it down into 3 phases: unbearable, uncomfortable, and unstoppable.
Unbearable. That sounds a bit intense.
He's definitely upfront about the challenges involved in forming a new habit, but he also highlights the rewards that come with each phase.
So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. He acknowledges that it takes effort and commitment.
Exactly. But he also emphasizes that the goal is to make the miracle morning a sustainable part of your life, not just a temporary fix.
So it's about finding a rhythm that works for you and integrating it into your life in a way that feels natural and enjoyable.
Exactly. It's not about forcing yourself into a rigid routine, but rather finding what works for you and making it a part of your everyday life. And speaking of making things a part of your life, if you're finding this conversation valuable, you can check out the link in the description to purchase the book yourself.
Such a good point. And don't forget to leave us a comment letting us know what resonates with you the most about the Miracle Morning. We love hearing from our listeners. It's so important to remember that personal growth is a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely.
And it's going to look different for everyone.
Yeah, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to self-improvement.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Miracle Morning,
Okay.
what are some key takeaways that you think our listeners should walk away with?
I think for me, it's Elrod's emphasis on personal responsibility and the power of choice. We can't always control our circumstances,
Right,
but we can control how we respond to them.
right.
And the Miracle Morning is really a framework for cultivating that inner strength and resilience.
That's such a powerful message.
Yeah.
And it's something we can all apply to our lives.
Yes.
Whether or not we adopt the full Miracle Morning routine.
Absolutely. It's not about achieving perfection, but rather making progress.
Right.
Even small, consistent efforts can lead to significant changes over time.
One thing that I found myself thinking about as we were discussing the S.A.V.E.R.S. is how to tailor them for different personality types.
Oh, interesting.
Like, could an introvert's Miracle Morning look different from an extrovert's?
That's a great question, and it's something that the book doesn't really delve into. Perhaps an introvert might prefer a longer period of silence or choose to do their reading and journaling in a quiet, solitary space,
Right.
while an extrovert might thrive on incorporating a social element into their exercise routine
Right.
or sharing their affirmations with a friend.
Makes sense.
It's all about finding what works best for you and honoring your own unique needs and preferences.
I love that the Miracle Morning is a framework, not a rigid set of rules.
I guess.
It's about experimenting, adapting, and making it your own.
Exactly.
So if you're feeling inspired to create your own Miracle Morning, maybe start by asking yourself, what do I need to feel my best? What brings me joy and energy?
Right.
And how can I incorporate those things into my mornings?
Those are great questions to consider. And remember, it's not about adding more to your already busy schedule.
Right.
It's about prioritizing what matters most and making time for the things that fuel your mind, body, and spirit.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover your own version of a Miracle Morning. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Miracle Morning.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you found it insightful and inspiring.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep learning.